Damn, it'd be easy.
Isn't like Dr. Manhattan like the most broken character ever?
Something like that. He's pretty fucked up. He's interesting. Like I said, you need to read those before the Watchmen.
Yeah.
I'm just a little disappointed with the discovering what I discovered.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn it. All right, well, we're recording, so let's go ahead and do this shit. All right, episode 11.
11?
Yeah, nothing special.
Nothing special. 11.
Nothing special. Hey, you know what we should do?
What's that?
Just do like a few more of these nothing specials and then come with a completely different topic. Like do a different type of show. You know what I mean?
Like what?
I don't know. Just something, some nerd shit. Or I don't know.
Like what do you mean? Like
It's like, you know how like you're like, oh, it's kind of hard to come up with topics, which it is.
mm-hmm.
Especially since we do this every fucking Sunday.
Yeah.
We could try to come up with something where, or we could either that or we can keep doing the nothing specials and alternate the topics where you come up with something.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think we tried for a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, just kind
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of hard for me to come up with stuff outside of my interests, you know? Because, like, realistically, like, you know, I don't really think about much other than, you
shit
know,
you're interested in.
yeah. So, like, you know, really, like, nothing else matters. So I'm like, oh,
Is that a Metallica pun?
it is now.
Got it.
But, you know, I mean, you know, I don't really have, like, very diverse interests, you know? I like technology and science, games.
Oh yeah.
You
We can
know.
do, well, we can do something like that. I mean, we'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, what are we eating? You want see if Moe's is open or Dairy Queen or
Yeah, we
I'm
see
not
it.
going. I'm not going to Mama's Kitchen.
Yeah,
It's not happening.
yeah,
It's never. That's never happening.
yeah. We can see if Moe's is open because I've honestly wanted to try them.
Yeah. I'm telling you, dude, they got their shit is off the chain.
Yeah.
They're fucking delicious. I love it. All right, so hey, anyway, welcome. I'm Zeke.
I'm Brian.
There's nothing special. Completely forgot we were recording, even though I said we're recording. I'm sure. All right, so this is going to do one about goals and dreams.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, question number 1: goals and dreams in life. What is it? Something you've always wanted? I know for a while you wanted that sandwich shop, right? You and Naval were
Yeah.
going to do something like that.
Yeah. That keeps changing.
What is it currently?
I think ideally it'd just be kind of like it'd basically be like a quick food stop. Realistically, like, you know, it'd be, you know, sandwiches, burgers, pizzas, something like that. And honestly, I was even thinking about this the other day when I was at work, because like a lot of people, well, not a lot, but you know, you get some people coming in, just, you know, all they want is the little Subway pizzas.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about that last week on the way to College Station. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, this is like the perfect place to do that because
Yeah, if we had like an actual pizza place here in town, make a fucking killing.
yeah.
Especially if you delivered.
Oh yeah. I mean, because remember we were talking about that. I was like, you start off with get you a couple of delivery people,
Yeah.
and maybe go out to a certain
Radius.
so you're not like, oh yeah, we delivered to Houston. You know.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to do no shit like that.
I'd say furthest would probably be like Lions.
Well, maybe like Lions and like maybe Burton, somewhere on there, some parts of Burton, because
How far is Burton?
15 minutes. Somewhere
Okay,
around.
that's not too bad.
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes depending on how far out they stay.
Yeah.
Because Tuck used to live in Burton.
Okay.
Kind of Burton-ish. And I would go out there every day, and it's about 12 to 15 minute drive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty out in the sticks. You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just find out a certain radius, and then you could go from there. But yeah, so I know. So you always it's always going to be food related, or do you have any other things that you kind of want to branch out into?
Um,
You know, my shit is something to do with comedy or music.
Yeah.
That's my shit. That'll never change. I've been like that since I was 12 years old.
Yeah. I've always kind of wanted to do like a little bit of acting.
Mm-hmm.
I know for me, I think it'd realistically be kind of like voice acting, which is hard.
Yeah, I feel like we were talking about on the Big Show. I think that's probably the hardest type of acting because you can only show emotion, and you have to like verbally show emotion,
Yeah.
which is way fucking harder than people think.
Yeah.
I watched the behind the scenes of Ice Age 2, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys was like, so he's like, so you're a big burly giant with jacked up teeth. Because most people who have bulging teeth like that, they kind of talk like this. Because he was like, so you kind of have to figure out that character through your voice, not through emotion, physical emotion or anything like that. He's like, you have to be able to do it with just your voice. And ever since I saw it, that was years. I don't even know how old Ice Age 2 is, but the dude was like sometimes, and you can be a method actor through the voice. And I was like, what the fuck? That is insane. Yeah. I think Mark Hamill did that with the Joker, right? How he kind of he didn't even leave the booth. Everyone was going on lunch, and he was just in there like he was like pretend it was like a mental asylum just to kind of stay in that type of character. Like, man, that's some dope shit right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should really start getting some cameras and just doing like little skits. And realistically, we could do it with our phones. Because I got plenty of ideas for some funny ass skits. Yeah. The one of the ideas I have is with the first video I think we should do would be like an somewhat intro video for the podcast. We're almost 50 episodes in, which that's tonight. But yeah, so was that you slapping the rubber off? No, but what I want to do is that song "Dreams" by the Cranberries. That fucking upbeat ass song with a guitar and the strings and shit and the little yodeler in the back. Use that as the intro. None of us talking. So, alright, so it goes on like, because you know how it's introduced. Welcome to Shoot the Shit with Zeke, Israel, Navarre, and Brian. They would come to me, and all the angles would be us turning around doing something. So like I would have like a shit ton of blow on my nose or something. Navarre would be like shooting down like pills. Israel's like got a Bible, and then you just turn around and you have like this psychotic looking face. You're like, no emotion, just like, but like blood on your cheek or some shit, because you're the psycho of the crew. You know, just some funny shit like that, just so we can kind of, so we don't have to act. You know, we can it just be facial shit, and then eventually we start doing skits, so we can upload. Yeah, because we're so far behind with that shit. Yeah, the audio is cool, but we're so far behind. We got to step it up. Definitely got to step it up. Yeah. Okay, so how long have you had that goal/dream? When you first put your piece of food in your mouth and you tasted something delicious?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely been, I want to say probably about 8 or so years. I know like it really like picked up whenever I got my own place and I was cooking for myself. Mm-hmm. And then I started getting a little bit more into it, you know, having the ideas again whenever I was going to school. Because, you know, really going through everything. But then, like, I guess also around the time of school, I was kind of like, honestly, I don't want to deal with the management side of things.
Right.
I just want to cook.
So if you did, even if you had your own shit, you would still be behind the wheel?
Yeah. Which is really hard to do.
Yeah, I was going to say,
you really can't do that just because of, like, all the time it takes and everything.
I mean, you could have somebody running shit, like, as far as, like, your accounting and, like, maybe a manager or something like that if you're going to have servers, or I don't know how fancy you're trying to go, but I know, who was it? Ramsey? Yeah. Was talking about that, how he really can't cook that much anymore unless he's at home or for certain events, because he constantly has to be looking over everyone, because not only does that restaurant represent him, those cooks represent him as well.
Yeah.
So he's like, it's difficult to be behind the scenes when everyone expects you to be, you know, the front of the house pretty much.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that's kind of difficult. And I imagine there's obviously other occupations where it's difficult, but I feel like that's one of the hardest ones
Mm-hmm.
because it's so much customer service involved. So much customer service. Because if you run like a clothing store, yeah, you can stock the shelves, you can greet people and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you got all that time to go over everything. And then on top of that, the food management, the food care, like
Yeah, you gotta, you know, order food, keep it top of, like, you know, all your inventory and stuff.
mhm.
You know, and then you gotta also do scheduling.
Oh yeah, the inventory, all that shit is just,
Yeah.
it's such a pain in the ass. I mean,
There's quite a bit to do.
that's why, and I think that's why so many mom and pop restaurants go under, because they go in with that mentality like, oh, we can do everything. It's like
You really can't.
You probably should you're probably gonna need some help with that.
Yeah.
You know, that's a difficult industry. The food industry itself, like, it's crazy. There's a what the fuck are those smoothie places? What's one of the big chains?
It's like Jamba Juice.
That's what it is, a Jamba Juice. So there's a Jamba Juice right in Tomball, and it's literally probably the size of my room and the living room combined.
Damn.
It's super small. And I'll go in there from time to time after work. You know, I'm a mango dude. Get one of those, and the guy's in there, dude. And it's like 10 in the morning. He's fucking stressed out already. He's like, hold on. I gotta go check on the blah blah blah. And then he'll have deliveries come in, and then I'm like, Jesus, man, like that's some tough shit right there. That's not even. I mean, it's food, yes, but it's smoothies.
Yeah.
You know, but still, dude, that's not something I want to be a part of. I would invest for sure, but
Yeah.
fuck that.
Yeah, usually like places like that, you know, stuff where they don't really have to cook
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. Usually like prep, because it's basically all prep.
Right.
And so, like, you know, I don't know how they do it, but, you know, smoothie places, stuff like that, you know, they'd have to, you know, they'll get their fruit in, then they'll probably have to, you know, chop it up or whatever, peel it, shit like that.
Mhm.
So, and the biggest thing about that is, you know, once you get fruit prepped, you know, cut up and stuff, you have to store it in a way to where it won't, you know, start browning and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And
Well, I know with them is like, as far as like the peeling and shit goes, like bananas, like oranges and stuff, they'll just do that right in front of you.
yeah,
So that way you know, hey, this shit ain't coming back from some fucking frozen place that we kind of
Yeah.
thawed out or whatever. Like, this is like legit bananas and
yeah.
oranges and stuff like that. And
Well, some fruit frozen isn't bad.
oh hell yeah, fucking some
Uh-huh.
fruit is good frozen.
Yeah, because I like berries.
I like extremely cold, not frozen, but extremely cold motherfucking grapes.
Yeah,
Grapes are off the chain.
yeah. As long as they're, you know, still fresh.
Yeah, and edible.
Yeah, not like squishy.
So I answered that question with my last thing, saying like 12, 13 years old, kind of ish. Maybe a little bit before. I've been playing guitar since I was like 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing that for a minute. All right, so number 3. How much would you invest into it? Or would you be willing? Is there a certain number? Not even like money wise, but like time and everything goes, and you know, how much stress and anxiety would you be willing to take on? Is that
Well, I mean, even with my job, I'm putting in a lot of, you know, my time and energy into it.
yeah, but again,
My
like I
life.
said, with that such shit, I think you're overexerting yourself, especially for that job. I think you're putting a little too much into it.
I don't know. It's just kind of the way it is. I mean, that's what I had to do when I was in the Navy, and that's all I really know how to do. It's just kind of, you know, you just go balls to the wall.
Yeah, but I mean, this isn't like, you're not part of the team, you know, Team SEAL 6 or some shit. Like, you can tone it down. I would. Like I said, I've told you plenty of times, I don't know why you stress so much over that shit, especially with all the stuff that, you know, you're obviously not making enough. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean, I'm not to say that just go in there and shit all over the bread and call it a fucking over toasted sub, but at the same time, don't be like, oh god, like this is my company. You can't treat, especially if it's not. That's a chain restaurant, man. I don't know. That's just my thinking.
I don't know. I'm one of those people, like, I think you should, try to, like, no matter where you work, you should try to take pride in it and everything,
that
put yourself into
that
it.
crouton sandwich said otherwise, sir. No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't just go in there and shit all over the bread,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like, give them the amount of energy and time that you're being paid for.
Yeah. But I'm not looking at this as a
Oh yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. It's not
like
a permanent.
This is
thing.
a short-term thing, and
Yeah.
so like I really want, like, for my next employer, they'll call them up and be like, "Hey, what kind of employee was he?" And they'll be like, "He was a fucking outstanding employee. Like,
I gotta be
he
honest.
was, like, honestly, like, he was the best employee we had."
I gotta be honest with you. In my life, I'm 29. I've had over 100 jobs.
Jesus.
I can't tell you all the people I've talked to. Hey, what did they say when you called? Well, we don't call.
Oh, really?
They don't give a fuck. They really don't. Then again, I mean, it just depends on what type of work
Job you're going for.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you're going for the FBI, you're probably gonna get a few reference calls made. But I
Yeah.
mean, like if you're going, like, say you're going right next door to the seafood place,
Mm,
I just don't think they would really call.
probably not.
I say that because they could just walk over. But no, I just, you know what I mean, stuff like that. Like, it's just, yeah, put effort into it. Just don't go fucking bad
Yeah.
shit over it. That's just my thing. Because especially as late as you work,
Yeah.
I mean, I would just chill. And as for my answer, it would be, I mean, you already know what I invest into this shit.
Yeah.
A fucking hour drive, sometimes twice a week, editing this,
Yeah.
missing out on time, spend hours in front of the computer, whether it be podcasts, beats, mixing. Saw the studio I fucking went to school at. Made quite of an investment in it. So
Yeah.
a little bit of a bet. Okay, so now for your goals, this is one of the most important things. Deadlines. Do you have a deadline set for something that, like, when we first started the podcast, Navarre and I had a vision to where, like, let's not go crazy. The first year, no podcast is successful unless you're a celebrity. If you're nobodies like us, it'll be a year or two. So I was like, at the end of the year, like right now we're at like 50 followers, but we have a bunch of listeners who don't follow us. And I'm like, don't take that to heart. By year 2, I want to at least be up to, set small steps like 150, 200, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But still have the listens coming in and still do this every Sunday, and have one come out Wednesday, whoever it is. I don't care if it's me and you or Israel and Navarre, you and Navarre, you and Israel. As long as something gets put out, to stay consistent. And so far, we have not missed a date.
Yeah.
We haven't missed a Sunday. So, I mean, that's one of the and then as far as like the deadlines for something to that, I just want it to be to reach more people. And like I said, at the end of next year, we haven't set that deadline. I don't know. We'll see where we go from there.
Yeah. I don't set hard deadlines. I set soft deadlines.
Right.
So something that can change, because obviously, like, if you go through a life change or something like that, then obviously, like, your deadlines and timelines or whatever, they're gonna have to change with that.
Shit happens. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I told them. I was like, we'll get this H6 just in case Israel can't ever be there, or if Navarre gets sick for a week or two.
Yeah.
Now there's 3 of us, we can always chip in, or whatever it may be. Like, so that's why I was like, let's not shoot for the fucking stars. Israel, I
Yeah.
think at one point was like, we got to have 1,000 followers by the end of the year. I'm like, that's not how it works, buddy.
No, that's.
I've been listening to podcasts since 2011. Joe Rogan didn't have that many followers when he first started. I was like, he had a lot because he's a fucking famous comedian and
Yeah.
well deserved. But I was like, that's not us.
Yeah.
But like, one of the goals, the deadlines I have is obviously I want to go on stage, and the deadline is gonna be for that either sometimes before or right on my 30th birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta do it. I need y'all to hold me accountable for that shit. It's been too long. Being bitch made, son. All right, so deadlines. Your soft deadlines.
Yeah.
But like now let's talk about like a future deadline. Is there, do you see yourself like, do you have like a those whack ass 5-year, 10-year plans or anything like that, or are you just kind of taking it by the year?
I guess by the year, honestly. Yeah. I mean, I've had I've had a few things change for me, especially over the last, 2 years or so.
Yeah.
So,
it's been a little rough.
Yeah, a little bit. So I've been kind of just doing short-term goals.
Right. Which I don't know why people hate on those short-term goals, man. Those things are really...
Well, people generally set short-term goals too short. So,
right.
They'll do like a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
When realistically, like a short-term goal should be like 6 months to a year.
Yeah, give yourself some time.
Yeah.
Now, like that doesn't... shit happens.
Yeah, shit happens. I mean, that doesn't mean that, you can, put something off and try to knock it out last minute. That means, have a goal in mind and then like occasionally work at it.
Yeah. So like I said with the podcast thing, just set a certain. We got to set a certain set, not a set date, but like that's one of our soft short-term goals.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years. Couple years is a long fucking time. That gives us enough time to develop, to really be able to evolve. Because I mean, if any of y'all have heard our first episodes, holy shit.
Yeah.
Fucking pieces of shit, like just horrible. But I mean, the thing is like, for not even aside from our goals, I think people should set goals like that 6 months to a year, and if you achieve it before then, cool, go for another goal. Find something to stay challenged, to keep challenging yourself. Otherwise you become complacent with yourself, and everything's just gonna be, your life's gonna be one repetitious fucking piece of shit. That's how people end up hating life, become depressed. Like, you got to stay doing something.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my take on it. I wish other people would adapt that as well, because it's something nice to do for yourself as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just all right. Fallback plans.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's yours? Is it something outside of the food industry?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. And honestly, I've been kind of thinking about this anyway. Going to school, go get like my electrician's stuff done, and go do that.
For the plane shit?
No, I think it'd just be like. So honestly, I think I'm done with planes.
So I like the residential and
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, that's pretty good money too.
Oh yeah, it's great money, especially if you join a union.
Yeah.
Never not have work.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're good at it, anyway.
Yeah.
Man, see, I don't know if I have a fallback plan, because
I mean, you're almost kind of doing it right now. I mean, realistically, like yeah, your goal in life is the music, podcast, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a job on the side.
Yeah,
doing
true.
something, so you're almost kind of already in your fallback plan, but you're using that as it's not really your fallback plan, but you're using that as like a stepping stone,
right? Yeah,
to keep yourself going to get what you want.
Yeah, see, I think like that's what all four of us, I can say we all have that fallback plan. Is like we have that financial income, whether it be good or bad pay, but it's something we can kind of fall back on. Like, oh, okay, well, fuck, we've been doing the podcast for 3 years. We only have 112 followers. At that point, it's like, all right, well, it's time to move on to do something else.
Yeah.
But then I have to see, I'm the type of person, if that shit doesn't work out, I'll find something else to jump. I think that's like all of us. We'll all, except Navarre. Fuck Navarre, I don't know. I can't remember how many times I've asked that fool what his life goal was. He's like, I don't know. I fucking don't know. That guy's fucking weird. I love him, but he's a fucking weirdo. But yeah, so the electrician thing. See, I don't know. I don't want to be driving forever.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy this shit. I'm a chatty Cathy, man. I don't know. I'm gonna work. Something's gonna work out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just you gotta speak it into existence. Fucking shit. All right. So fuck. All right. So here's a good question. We kind of cover this. How long before you consider a fallback plan? What's like the right amount of time? Do you wait until shit just crumbles, or do you wait until?
Well, you don't do what I do, and
Yeah. Yeah.
wait until you're living in your car.
Yeah, that's not.
So that's a little too long.
You kind of missed that bus by a mile or 5.
Yeah, I'd say basically like, you know, if what you're trying to do is, you know, if you're starting to rack up debt, and you know, I consider debt anything past like, you know, like maybe like $3,000 or so.
Right, where it's kind of that's attainable to get out of. Where
Yeah.
if you're into like the 15, 20, and you're like, oh no, let's just keep going. Like no,
Yeah,
man, it's kind of
that's too far.
it's kind of time to kind of hang it up and maybe venture out somewhere else. You know.
Yeah.
See, that's a tough question to answer. I think.
No, like realistic, like it's one of those things. Like, you know, like say for the podcast, like if the podcast was making us money,
Mm-hmm.
but only a little bit, it's not something you'd want to, you know, try to make your primary income.
Oh yeah, that's
So
that's insane.
So if what you're trying to do isn't making you money or making you very little money, then you should go find something else. But you know, you should still try to do what you're trying to do,
Yeah,
but just don't put you can't put all your time into it anymore. So
Yeah,
you have to
no,
put
that's-
your downtime into it.
Yeah, I think we do a pretty good job of prioritizing around this,
Yeah.
as opposed to like, oh guys, we got to do it Tuesday, we got to do it Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and so, like
No, that's
because
unrealistic.
we're not making any money off this.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, the reason I don't mind doing this is because it's cost us very little money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if we were trying to start a fucking mowing business
Yeah.
where the city cuts everybody's grass,
Yeah.
that's a lost cause right there. You're not gonna fucking
Yeah.
You're investing that fucking in the teens to the high 50s, low 60,000s of dollars into equipment,
Yeah.
and then the income, you know, the end result is just shit. Like,
Well,
that's,
not only that, but then you gotta compete.
oh yeah, the
'Cause-
competition.
'cause
Oh yeah.
there's, I don't know who. I want to say, is it Lazaro? I don't know. It's like someone, like we have someone cutting our grass.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
It's probably Arvis.
is it Arvis?
Arvis usually cuts everybody's grass on the block,
Does
but
it?
I don't think he may charge. He used to not. I think he just did it just to do it.
I know someone. Like I know my mom is paying someone to cut our
so-
grass. So, and I thought it was Lazaro because I thought I saw his name on the. Because my mom keeps a little list of stuff.
okay.
So I want to say it was Lazaro.
Okay, so yes, but see, then he knows so many people.
Yeah.
So
and
competition-
I
yeah.
remember like whenever I was going to work one day, there was like a truck with the flatbed and stuff, and there was like a bunch of people like with these mowers, and they were running around mowing
Weed
people's-
eaters and shit.
Yeah, they were doing like everyone's house.
Right, but see, like again, he's also knows how to do construction.
Yeah.
You know, so like the competition for him is scarce. But like
Yeah.
if we were to try to do something like that with zero knowledge,
Yeah.
it's almost like at one point. At what point are you just like, ugh, hey, that was a
Yeah.
bad idea. Maybe it's time to move on to something else. You know, like don't. But when I say that, I don't mean like don't go to the mall and try to fucking sell hats with pictures on them. Like that's
Yeah.
nobody stops at those kiosks. Like nobody. Like I don't know, man. That's almost like a personal. Like you have to. It's almost like kind of case by case. You have to know when to fall back. Like with this, we're not losing money doing this. Not much. With $4 a month.
Yeah.
Okay, like people can deal with that. And if we were doing, hey guys, it's gonna cost us $60 a month each. No, fuck that.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Because for some people, that's a fucking percentage of their check.
Mhm.
You know, like yourself, that'd be a percentage of your check.
Yeah, that'd be about a quarter of
One
of
of
my
your check. Yeah.
paychecks. Yeah.
I wouldn't ask you to do that. You know, that's why I'm like, this is cheap. It's fun. It's easy. Requires zero to little effort for any of us. That's why I don't mind doing it. And if something does happen, then cool. But like, that's why I was like, with this one, that's the good thing about this. I don't see a real reason to have to like call it quits unless people just get bored.
Yeah.
Like if any of us are like, I don't like doing this anymore. But I mean, like I said, it requires zero money, zero real skill, zero talent. Really, all you have to do is just talk. I don't know. That's just for like, as far as the podcast and shit goes. But like with the music thing, for me, that's why I stopped investing so much money in it, dude. Like that thing right there is $600. The speakers I had were in total $1,100 for both of them. Not those two; those are just shit speakers. But I sold those speakers. Like I had so much. That mic I had was $800. Like, and was barely seeing any income. Now I'm just making beats just for fun.
Yeah.
And just putting them on iTunes, and people are buying them. I'm like, that's so much more fun.
Yeah.
So I don't have to fall back from that as long as it's just because it's not work anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing. That's one we should talk about right there. If you get into something and it starts feeling like work, something you're wanting to do.
Yeah, if it is something you're passionate about, something like that. Like it was a saying I heard. It was like basically like, creativity or ideas are like farts.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to force it, it's probably shit.
Oh yeah.
So
That's a very fucking yes. I think I heard somebody say that about love. Like love is like a fart. If you have to force it, it's probably shit. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's a great analogy right there, because that's one of those things that's like, oh man, we need a quick money grab. What do? Let's start a fucking mowing company. There's no passion in that. Every day is gonna feel like work.
Yeah.
But like if it's something like this, if we could do this every day, just talk shit.
Yeah.
Where's the work? Like literally, there's zero work involved.
Yeah.
It's just fucking easy. Setting up a couple mics, I'm down for that shit. I don't know, man. I mean, something's gonna work out. I don't know. I just feel it, man. It's just one of those things. With the music thing, it's from the jump. I always felt like, there's so many people doing this.
Yeah.
There's so many people who are better than me. There's, like it's one of those things where it's like this. I don't care. I just don't really care if people are better than us. I don't. It's just like I like doing it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I feel like with like music, podcasts, and stuff like that, the thing that'll really set you apart is personality and a niche.
Right. Yeah.
And, what you're known for.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you look at all these other guys, look like PewDiePie. And,
oh yeah.
Joe Rogan. Well, maybe not Joe Rogan podcast, but maybe like some of these other podcasts or YouTube channels, stuff like that. They have something. They have a niche. Right. And so they really play to that. Right. So I think the biggest thing would be, what is your niche?
And that's one of the things I've noticed about, as far as like just going back to the music thing, how like it used to be back in the day. Like honestly, I can't go anywhere downtown Houston without somebody screaming like LP because they know me. But that was just music, or they never really got to know my personality. Now it's to the point where it's all personality. Yeah. Like this one chick, shout out to her, Sarah J. She is it Sarah J? Oh no, Sarah the instrumentalist. She's really dope, but her personality is what people buy. They're like, oh, she's funny, she's eclectic, she does all this crazy shit, makes funny videos, and then her music is dope. But like, even if you heard it, you just watch her videos, you're like, oh yeah, I want to fuck with her because she's cool. It's like it's all based on personality now, and that's because of social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. Like, it's all around that now. And like, I don't.
Yeah, and that's kind of like some of the downside to like a lot of music nowadays, because like like when Lady Gaga was big, I don't know if she's still big or not.
Yeah, she's still pretty big.
But like most reason why people were getting into her just because she was so like over the top.
Oh,
and
wearing
stuff.
Meat coats and shit like that.
Yeah,
and like wearing parrots in her hair. Like she was. Yeah. It was something that caught your attention, aesthetically and like audibly. You're like, oh, well, she can really sing and she's fucking weird. I gotta be a part of this. And that's the thing. Like with me, as far as the music goes, I've always liked to play the background. Like I don't want to have to put myself out there. Like I wish music now, like back in the day, music spoke for itself. Yeah. Didn't matter about if you were funny, boring, black, white, Asian, fucking male, female. None of that mattered. Yeah. Now it's all like, oh, he's a Filipino dude who makes this type of music and blah blah blah, and he's married to such and such. It's like none of that interests me.
Yeah.
I just want to hear dope shit.
But I've noticed that the stuff that really lasts is like, you know, the really good shit. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
Dr. Dre and stuff like that.
That's legendary shit. Like it's
Yeah, like that. Like they didn't. Well, I guess they kind of had a niche. You know, they were, you know, gangsters from
well,
Compton, but
well, the thing is they really set gangster rap off. Like they
Yeah.
started a completely different genre of rap, so that's why that shit stuck around. Gangster
Yeah.
rap still exists, you know. Fuck.
but I mean, I don't know. If you look at kind of their, you know, music videos and stuff, you know, that they were really playing it up. I
oh
feel.
yeah, for
Like,
sure.
I don't know if they were really that gangster or anything, but you know, they definitely looked and acted the part. And
Oh,
so I
yeah.
think that
Well-
was kind of the thing. But then, you know, once they got big, they could like tone it down
Mm-hmm.
a little bit.
You see, the thing is, like, as a beat maker producer, I've always modeled my not style, but just my, I guess, quote unquote producer personality after guys like Dre, Pete Rock, DJ Premier. All these guys, you never really knew who they were,
Mm-hmm.
and their music stands the test of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they didn't really put too much bullshit into it. Like, yeah, they were charismatic and all that stuff, but like, that's not what you saw. You only
Yeah.
heard them. And like, I just wish I could go back to that, because I'm like, I'm one of those guys still. Like,
Yeah.
if I post a video of a new beat, I'm never in it. On
Yeah.
Instagram, it's just a video, or it's just a link or something. It's never like, hey, check this shit out. It's like, oh, now we want to see personality, and it's that younger shit.
Yeah.
I'm not
It's for the
hating.
younger
I'm not
people.
hating on it, you know, but I mean, it's just that lane for guys like myself and others starting to get a little more narrow and narrow. You know,
Yeah.
to where I'm gonna have to invest in like a fucking $3,000 camera and all this
Yeah.
fucking gear just to be, you know, just to quote unquote stick out. I'm like, but that's, I don't know.
But see, that's the short-term stuff. I
Right.
think, like, you know, all these pop songs, they call them pop songs because they're popular.
Popular, yeah.
But honestly, like, their lifespan seems to be getting shorter and
Oh,
shorter.
fuck yeah, dude. I mean, the fact that, okay, there's a rapper named Meek Mill, and his music will probably stand the test of time just because he's one of those like hard rappers, hard gangster rappers, like, but he makes dope shit with good messages.
Mhm.
So his album just dropped probably a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago. I had just downloaded it to my phone. I hadn't heard it because I usually listen to podcasts on the road, and literally 6 or 7 people, album of the year. I'm like, it just came out. A few days later, another album came out from a big artist, and this weekend, like, albums have been dropping left and right, and I'm like, they're only doing that shit because of the fucking attention span and lifespan of music nowadays.
Yep.
It's just fucking drying up like that, dude.
Yep.
I'm like, god damn. Like, I remember getting, like, to this day, I still listen to the Bone Thugs, the East 99 album.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking classic.
That's good.
Like, when you put stuff like that out, you can listen to that for 2 to 3 to 5 years. We're going on, what is that? That was 98, 2000, somewhere on there.
yeah.
We're still listening to that.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to music like that? That's the shit I miss.
Well, honestly, it might be from the record companies and stuff, because they're probably like pressuring these guys to just keep dropping albums.
Well, that too, and they're also saying like, hey, you guys need to keep pushing albums out because all these young kids are constantly putting out singles on SoundCloud, Spotify. You need to keep up with them. It's like, that music isn't good. It's not good. It's not sticking. Like, dude, all the way here, I was listening to fucking Metallica from fucking 1994.
Yeah.
And they would only drop albums every few years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because they knew, hey, if we put another album out next year, like, that one is still fucking in the oven baking right now. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Let people enjoy that one.
Well, that's because, you know, like a lot of these guys, they'd have tours and stuff, and I don't know how often people tour nowadays, but
A lot, but they're because that's the only way they can get their money, because
yeah.
the stream game has killed a lot of that. But
Yeah.
their tours are just, they come and go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, your favorite artist is gonna do a 30-minute set. As a word, use someone like Metallica, Coldplay,
Yeah.
I don't know, you name a band. they're out doing 5, 6, 7, 8 hour shows and shit, like
Yeah.
putting on goddamn like just adventures for their audiences.
Yeah.
And we don't have that shit anymore.
Because I know, like, the band, they drop an album, and then they do a tour to kind of like promote the new album and stuff.
Right.
And the tour would last,
A year or two at least,
yeah,
minimum.
yeah, they tour every,
You know,
couple months, they'd, be at some new place.
and there are only really a few bands and rappers and pop artists that can drop music consistently where I'm like, man, like that's dope.
Yeah.
Like I can keep listening to that, as to where like a lot of them are just one hit wonders or some shit like that, and you're like, all right, well, I mean that song's cool, but what's next? And then they drop some shit and it's garbage, and you're like, all right, yeah, that's what I thought they were.
Yeah.
I hate to be that guy, but it's like, yeah, I kind of knew that. I saw that coming
Yeah.
from a mile away. I don't know how the fuck we got on that topic.
Goals?
Considering a fallback plan.
Oh, yeah. Fallback plan.
All right, so on to that. It's kind of a difficult question to answer as well. Are the fallbacks a safety net out of dreams? That's an even tougher one.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it just depends on how driven you are.
yeah.
Like, if you're not someone who's going to give up, but at the same time, like we were talking about, you have to know when to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
But
Like-
just,
Like, you may have a dream at something, but, I mean, I hate to say it, but, maybe you're just not very good at it.
right.
I mean,
yeah.
like if I, said I want to be a carpenter or something like that, but it wasn't really going anywhere, and
Yeah, you might be
Yeah.
getting jobs here and there,
yeah,
but not
then-
consistently.
and then people were like, writing on like, I don't know, what is Yelp or something like that. Yeah, be like, worst carpenter ever.
Right.
Or, just, like, honestly, I had to go get a new guy to.
Yeah,
fix
everything he
fucked
did.
up.
Yeah, everything he did had to be taken down and redone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like
yeah.
stuff like that is like, okay, yeah, you could probably get better, but honestly, like, by that point, your reputation is probably fucking ruined.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. That's not something you can jump into just on a whim.
Yeah.
Like, if carpentry especially, you better have been doing it since you were 10, 11 years old with your dad or grandpa,
Yeah.
having to learn some shit. I don't know, man. It's good to have a fallback, but it's not.
Yeah.
That's my thought. Like, I think, or I guess if you have a fallback, why not have it be close to something you're doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like, say, I want to work, I would like this, pizza sandwich place or whatever. But if
Right.
that doesn't work, maybe I could just go work at,
right, yeah.
instead of starting my own place, maybe I could just go work at someone else's.
Right.
You know?
But there's something in that too. Like, say you say it didn't work out. People, what we're talking about is fucking trying it.
Yeah.
Don't just never get there and then be like, oh, well, that didn't work out. Give it a shot at least.
Yeah.
Fucking take out a loan, rack up a little debt, I guess. And if it doesn't work out, then you hit your fallback. That's the
Yeah.
way I see it. Like, don't be like, oh, hey, Brian, you're $1,000 away from opening this restaurant. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of money. I'm just gonna go ahead and work for insert name here.
Yeah.
Like, that shit, that's just giving up. There's a difference between, because I'd rather try and fail than not try at all.
Yeah.
And then maybe hit that fallback. Which, again, I kind of just don't know what a fallback is for me. Like, I'm not going to do that forever. The reason I don't like having fallbacks is because I want to be like, oh, hey, I have to go fucking... The fuck was that? I have to go hard at this. That way, that's not an option, I don't know. I guess everyone's different, man. I don't know. It's just fuck fallbacks for me. And I think they are huge safety nets to say, oh, well, that didn't work out, so now I'm
Yeah.
doing this. I'm pumping gas in fucking Jersey or something. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I guess it's also maybe important to have maybe more than one dream.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you have your one big dream, but then,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
if
yeah.
that doesn't work out, hey, maybe, because, say I want to do the food thing, but, if that doesn't work out, you know what? Maybe I will go be an electrician. You know
Yeah.
what? That's not a bad gig. I'd make decent money and stuff. You know, better
If-
than
if-
working at Subway for the rest of my life.
If it's something you really enjoy doing, you know what I mean? Because I have my TDELR, whatever, electrician's apprentice card,
Okay.
and I was like, no, like it's not for me. Like I know it's good. There's good money in that and shit. And I heard the guy was like, yeah, man, you know how to do this? I was like, yeah. He's like, you know how to do this? Yeah. He was like, have you ever bent conduit before? And I was like, no. He's like, oh, well, it's probably ain't for you. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. I just gave up on it right away because I was like, no, it's either going to be music, podcast, comic, or something.
Yeah.
If you haven't noticed, I'm just very lazy and don't want to do real work.
Yeah, but I mean, still, like with all that stuff, like you could still like be like the like sound guy for like a club or you know, something like that. You know, like you go to one of these like nightclubs.
Yeah, as long as for me, as long as I'm involved with something to do with music or media.
Or hell, you can even be like the sound guy at like a fucking like you know, like a grocery store or something like that, you know, or even just be like a contract, like you know, sound engineer, whatever, you know, you gotta
whatever,
because you know you gotta go. Well, maybe not freelance, but you know, you'd probably be part of a union or place, and you know, you go out to like all these stores and stuff and fix their like you know, PA systems and shit and stuff like that. So there's
there's always,
you have like all kinds of stuff you could do, even with just like sound and shit.
yeah, there's it just takes getting out there and finding it, really.
Yeah.
All right, so last question of the day. It's kind of a dumb question, but fuck it. So the risks of your goals / dreams. I think the answer to that one would probably just be financial debt, really. Or maybe a tarnished reputation. Who knows?
Yeah.
that always plays a factor.
Yeah. I know one of the biggest things in the Navy was for us, you know, whenever you're not just like goals, but you know, whenever you're working on a task or something, the thing you should always, you know, consider is risk and reward. What is it going to cost you to, you know, do whatever you're trying to do, and what is the reward for it?
Right.
So, you know, if the risk was greater than the reward, then you shouldn't do it.
Right.
So, you know, like obviously, like, hey, I need to fix this, you know, piece of equipment. All right, well, what's it going to cost? Well, it's going to take probably about 4 days, you know, to do a, you know, we'll say like a repair, you know, not replace, but just repair. It's going to take like 4 days, and I'm going to have to order like 5 or 10 parts. And
yeah, it already sounds like a fucking time to let that one go.
Or I can just replace this piece. It's going to cost more,
but it'll last longer.
Yeah, but you know, it's more guaranteed to work.
Fix it. Yeah. It's a guaranteed fix, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
So do I try to save money but spend a lot of time, or do I spend a lot of money,
save a lot of time?
Yeah, save a lot of time. So you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things, man. Like I said, it's really kind of go. You got to go situation by situation. You know, I mean. Are the risks worth it? You know, because I mean, like another example with this thing here is like people already know we talk shit.
Yeah.
There's no real risk in that. We talk shit. We roast each other. Like our reputations are just reputations. Like we don't really have yet.
Yeah.
Crazy reputations or anything, but so there's no real risk in that. Like music goes, everybody knows. I just do music. So like there's no real risk in that. But I think so for the shit I want to do, it'd be more the financial thing that would be involved. Because to be a comic, when you start off, if you are good and you have to travel, that comes out of your pocket. Sometimes you might have to drive all the way to fucking Wichita Falls, which is like 8-hour drive, to open up for somebody for 5 minutes for $10.
Yeah.
You know, and that's in my truck. Well, used to be truck. That's a
Yeah.
lot of fucking money. You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, but for me, something like that again, not wanting to go back to the fallback, it'd be worth it. I'd be like, yeah, you
Yeah.
know what, fuck it, I'll do that 5 minutes for $10, and that 8-hour drive there and an 8-hour drive back.
Yeah.
If it seems worth it, that's another thing. You got if it seems worth it.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not gonna work out at all, bless you, then I would say fucking don't do it. Hang it up.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, sometimes you got to take a shot.
Oh yeah,
know?
you miss
So,
1,000% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
That's just pretty much it, man. Well, that went way longer than I thought. I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
like a 20-minute podcast.
Oh jeez.
We're at 50. So
Yeah.
these seem to be about a 50-hour long. You know, that's just how we do it. We went on a tangent for music for about 10 minutes there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's be it. We could do that one next week. Some music shit. I'll come up with something. Or weekend, whatever.
All right. Music.
Yeah, I mean, if you got something. You got something in the think tank, son?
I want to do something more than talk, but I know that's going to require additional equipment.
Like what?
Like, I don't know. Like, I was thinking, like, I don't know, maybe getting you some cards and trying to get a game going and maybe record it or something. Or maybe, like, get some cameras set up and we'll play a game together or something. Or, you know, like Mario Kart or something.
Mhm.
Or, you know, record something like that. But that requires more
Well,
equipment.
fuck, I mean, if we had the goddamn GoPro, all
Yeah.
we need is one. You know, some magic or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could probably do it with
Just
maybe
audio.
well, yeah, you could probably do it with audio. I mean, it'd be kind of
It'd be kind of boring, though.
Yeah.
Just to sit there and listen
you really need to see what's going on.
That's one of the reasons I haven't wanted to do the apples to apples just yet, because like, yeah, it's funny to hear people's reactions and the laughs and shit, but the faces people make when they
Yeah.
read some absurd shit, they're like, okay, what do you
Yeah.
mean Hitler had a black vagina? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, our faces would be like, oh, you know, what people would react to the most.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why we definitely, Tony, we gotta get those cameras. Just gotta.
I'd say maybe start out just like, does your phone have a decent camera?
Yeah.
I mean, probably do something like that. Just maybe like get like a stand or something, just like put it
A
overhead.
tripod. Yeah.
Yeah, just like
Yeah, we can do
something
that.
like
Yeah, because that's what I did whenever I did Tuck's little time lapse for his picture he drew.
Mm-hmm. Or even like not even stand, just get like some like plexiglass,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then like, you know, put the phone sitting down on the plexiglass and looking, and then everything you do is like below the plexiglass.
Right,
you know,
yeah.
So
It's like an overhead view.
yeah,
Yeah, well, we'll get it figured out, man.
yeah,
I don't know. But you want to go use some of this motherfucking Moe's?
yeah. I want to
Yeah.
try. I haven't tried them yet. I want to see if
I'm
they're
a-
any good.
I'm a little hungry, so.
Yeah, I haven't eaten
All right,
yet.
fuckers, that was episode 11. Nothing special. Goals, dreams edition. Follow them dreams. Follow them goals.
No.
I know it's got a little corny at sometimes, but it's just trying to help y'all motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
Me and Brian are almost 52. So, I mean, well, Brian is anyway. No.
Yeah, give or take a couple of decades.
Yeah, give or take a couple decades. You know, be easy, aka stack those bodies.
Damn.
All right, man. We up out of here. Peace.
Peace.